We're delighted to have with us Ambassador Max Baucus. Ambassador Baucus, you wrapped down your tenure and service as ambassador in 2017. How would you say U.S.-China relations have evolved since then, and what is the state of U.S.-China relations today?
Well, first, Russell, thanks very much for the invitation, and thank you, Forbes, very much. Wish you all the success for your conference. Well, obviously, the relationship's not good. It's terrible. And it's been going downhill virtually during the last maybe roughly 10 years. It started a bit when I was there. I began in 2013, left in 17. But then when President Trump got elected, America First, it just accelerated Americans, in a certain sense, isolationism, certainly being cut off from China and demonizing China. And President Biden really has enacted some of the same actions that President Trump did, namely sanctions and Export Control Act provisions, restricting U.S. investors' investment in China, et cetera. So it's not good. It's really not good at all. When I was there, 13 to 17, my gosh, lots of cabinet secretaries came over. I was able to meet with anybody I wanted to in the Chinese government. A lot of American businessmen came over. We in the embassy helped them. Some didn't want our help, but there's a lot more to and fro back then. It's not good at all right now. It's in bad shape.
So the Biden administration has been working this year to increase the number of visits by U.S. leaders to China after the balloon brouhaha earlier this year. What do you make of that approach, and what are your expectations from Commerce Secretary's the Commerce Secretary's visit to Beijing this week?
Well, the trips it's good, and we've had several. Secretary Biden, Secretary Yellen, now Secretary Raimondo, and the other way, Commerce Minister Wang Wentao has visited the United States. I think Raimondo just visited with him recently. All that's helpful. I mean, it helps to talk to each other, helps to express each side's point of view and listen to the other. It's obviously an opportunity to ask some questions, but I don't expect much out of it, frankly. That is, visits generally of late last year, and Secretary Raimondo's visit is as wonderful as she is. And that's basically because the Chinese really see Americans as just doing a lot of talking, but they don't see the United States really acting positively. And some of the actions they do see from their perspective are not positive. For example, President Biden's executive order on investment. And I think they'll be gracious hosts. They won't be nasty or bitter or talk down to Secretary Raimondo, but I just don't think they're going to expect much out of it. And frankly, a big problem was that balloon. And the problem with the balloon is it's visual. It's up in the sky. It's passing over the United States, even over my home state of Montana. I mean, everybody wrote about it. Everybody took pictures of it. It's a big deal. It's a visual. Contrast that with talks. There's no visual there. It's just talking heads. It just doesn't really grab people. And as we all know, in life, generally, negative news has more potency and currency than good news. And so the balloon, my gosh, it just, no pun, it overshadowed everything. And it's really hard to get that back. As you know, anti-China sentiment in the Congress is not only bipartisan, I mean, it's intense. And it's unfortunate, but it's not causing any progress.